this episode. It is with Ruben de Baat. Is that how you say your last name? Is that
That's
correct?
correct.
Okay. I met him at Canadian Thanksgiving in the U.S. when I was visiting Shivani at the time. This was maybe like 3 years ago,
Yeah, that's right.
something like that. 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
I don't know, somewhere around then. And you and your sister came over for dinner with a bunch of other friends. That's when I met you. And then you moved home from New York, and then you opened up your own gym, which was crazy. And you're what, 22? That's unreal, man. So talk to me. Tell our viewers like what you do, who you are, and then we'll get started from there.
Yeah. You can hear me okay, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So my name is Ruben de Baat. He had that right. I was born in Holland, so I was born in Europe. And then I moved around quite a bit growing up. Traveled, lived in other parts of Canada. I lived in Aruba for a while. I kind of moved back to Canada. When we get to the chase, like I've always been super, super involved in the athletic world.
Yeah.
And athletics and sports like that have always really been a passion of mine. So I started Taekwondo when I was about 6 years old, and I think that's where things really kind of began for me. And then,
what level did you get to?
I actually ended up competing for Team Canada. So
Okay.
I went very, very far with that.
How come your uniform's not in the gym? Like,
what? Yeah.
Your tunic, your whatever you call it.
Well, I don't actually have any in the gym.
Oh.
I don't have actually. I should actually put some up. It's a really good idea. So that was where sports really originated for me, and then I kind of picked up basketball and kind of started pursuing other sports like that as well.
Yeah.
Somewhere along those lines, I was like, you know what, being the athlete is super, super cool, and that's something I'll always love. But there was always a common denominator. I always connected. I was working with national coaches, very qualified coaches and trainers. And
right.
Every stop I connected, no matter what sport it was, I connected with the coach. I connected with the trainer.
Yeah.
Something happened there where all of a sudden a light bulb went on. And I went, hey, it's not just the actual, the part of doing the exercise that I enjoy so much. It's actually not just being the athlete, it's being the trainer, it's being the coach, understanding how do I make someone better, greater than just myself, right? So
right.
Once I kind of figured that out, that's when I knew, hey, this is kind of my direction and kind of how I want to go with it. So then I started running away with that. I kind of figured that out into high school, so I kind of started selecting courses according to that. After I graduated high school, I just right into it. I started working at gyms. I worked at big corporate gyms, and then kind of started working into private gyms. And you take bits and pieces. There's good things and bad things everywhere.
Yeah.
So you kind of learn.
Every experience as both. Yeah.
Yeah. So you learn. Okay, what do I really like? What don't I like? And then we decided to open Blood Sweat Train. So I opened this gym together with my partner Lia. So Lia Foster, you probably see her on the Instagram account.
Yeah.
We opened this together back in September. So we got the place officially open in October, but we started, renovating and doing our thing back in September.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have done it without her. Like she's a superstar. I mean, you've done some of her classes, but she's oh yeah. I'm a headless chicken, so she keeps me in order. But so we kind of built this place together with a vision in mind, and then we kind of went for it.
Gotcha. To anyone who's not been to this gym, it's located in Newmarket at Davis and 404, close to Leslie, but Davis and 404 in that area. It's a phenomenal 8,000 square foot facility. It has everything that you could imagine or need to train and build functional strength. I think that's key. It has bits and pieces of everything. I love that gym. That gym is sick. I try to tag people along as much as I can. Trying to get them to just at least see the gym, at least have a workout in, and then they might fall in love with it. That's my goal.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. We love having you in here. And thanks for having me on here too, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. I definitely wanted to interview you. Like, for someone who's way beyond, like, matured way beyond his years, it's quite impressive. It's quite a big feat for you to take on this entrepreneurial role. and also be so driven. You know how to talk to people, you know how to socialize, you know how to, you're business minded, you're driven. I don't know. I just love it.
Thank
So I
you.
definitely wanted to bring you on board. So I was like, I should definitely interview you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm just really lucky, right? Like it's so cliche, it's so cheesy to say that, you know, find something you love, you'll never work a day in your life and yada yada yada. But when you genuinely understand and find, okay, this is what I want to do,
right.
you'll find a, and I'm sure you've got, I know, well, we've talked outside of this. I know you've got the same thing.
Right.
Once that sets for you, you're like, there's a gear inside me that you didn't know you had before.
Yeah.
And once you find that, it's, you know, everything's
It's
in the
easy
first.
after that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's ups and downs and you just get used to it and then it's just a roller coaster after there. But it's working its way up. It's exponential.
Yeah. Yeah. The climb's the best part, right?
Yeah. Okay, so you also do MAT. You're a
Correct.
certified personal trainer. You also do MAT. You also train high school athletes, things like that. So why don't
Correct.
you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So blood sweat training, essentially when we built this gym, we tried to build a gym where we work with kind of the trainers of trainers. So
Yeah.
we've got a certain approach from, you know, the initial visit to kind of how the training breaks out. And we do everything from a very professional science application based,
Yeah.
you know, we've got our steps and systems to ensure
Right.
that things happen properly. So I am certified in MAT. So for anyone that doesn't know, so muscle activation, it's a systematic approach to evaluating and correcting muscle imbalances. Is on paper what that means. I really use it as an assessment tool. So essentially, what might look like in a consultation for myself, someone comes in, I'm able to get them on the table, understand kind of habits that their body have, what muscles, I'm simplifying it, what muscles are
Yeah.
on, what muscles are off. And then I use that as a tool that when I combine that with some proper movement screening, I can understand why they do certain things.
Right.
It's like you get to, without them explaining why something hurts, you can kind of understand why
Yeah.
something hurts. You can understand that, you know, their shoulder doesn't hurt because they reached and grabbed something from the back seat 2 years ago and never recovered. No, you understand their shoulder hurts because it's not where it should be, right? Yeah, like so.
Right.
So that's what I'm really passionate about that.
Right. So it's you have different assessment tools to figure out and help people a little bit better.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
and it's cool. Some of
Different
the other
lenses.
trainers, some of the other trainers, you know, some fascial stretch therapists and stuff like that. But we're all not one way. We're all very, you know what? There's many different ways to get there.
Yeah.
My assessment is very different. We've tested this from some of my other trainers, but we're generally able to come to the same conclusion
Right.
with someone, right? So in summary, we take our training from a little bit more from a science base. We funnel it together, and then we try and go, okay, strengths, weaknesses, and then we kind of go from there.
Right.
Yeah.
I think what cost is a thing. The straw that broke the camel's back. Small changes throughout the years built up and finally broke. Was that related to something?
I'm not sure. So maybe it's a riddle.
I'm not sure what that means. Well, cost. Explain it a little bit more. We're gonna move a little bit forward. Okay, so how do you move, Ruben? What do you like? What movements do you enjoy doing? How do you work out? What's your typical workout like?
So I'm a little bit similar to you in the sense that I love physical activity. Like I love sports. Like if I want to be active,
Yeah.
I want to be on a court or a field or something. It can be by myself, it can be by a team, it can be in a ring. But I want to be doing a task.
Right.
So sometimes I understand totally where the training for that task can be a little bit taxing. But generally what my training looks like, I schedule about 90 minutes for myself every day. And then obviously I have my rest days and stuff like that, but I'll find something else to do, or that'll be a freebie day. And I do my thing. But I schedule about a 90-minute block. And that usually consists of some warm up, a movement prep, get myself ready. If I have little tweaks or things, I'll usually work on those first. Then I'll hit usually a 60 to a 70 minute resistance training session. And
Gotcha.
then and then I go from there. So I try and do a little something every day. How do it sounds really, I feel super stupid when I say this to people. People always go like, well, what's your goal fitness? And I hate saying it, but I really want to be mediocre at everything.
Okay. Interesting.
It sounds kind of weird to use that word mediocre because that's not really a goal. But I want to be able to lift properly. So I want to be able to lift, large amounts safely. I want to be able to run and move my body. I want to be able to join classes the way that
Gotcha.
we've ripped up a class together. I want to be able to step on
So
a soccer.
longevity though. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
longevity and health kind of combined. You want to
100%.
be able to do things. I don't think that's you want to be mediocre. You want to be able to do everything. That's kind of
That's it. That's
your
totally it.
objective.
That's totally it. Yeah, I think that. I mean, it's specialization, right? If you want to get really, really good at one thing, other things are going to fall. That's why I say, you know what, I'd rather be kind of spread
Okay.
out evenly. But
So what goals or benchmarks do you set to say, okay, like this is my objective? Like how do you say I want to be mediocre, but then have a training goal that you need to do a leg day or you need to want to lift X number of pounds? Like how do you
I'm really hard on myself.
so you just push yourself to the max every single time?
Yeah, I mean, like let's say it comes to weight training, for example.
Yeah.
If we set weight training goals, it might be body weight for 10 on all basic lifts.
Yeah.
Does that kind of make sense?
Right.